Alrighty, hello there YouTube and internet in general. So, what I've got for you here is that sample week of Strongman programming that is competition specific programming. Let's just dive right into it. So for our hypothetical event that I completely made up and definitely have no intention of doing, the events are as follows. A squat for reps, a max axle ground to overhead, a Hercules hold, and a stone to shoulder ladder. Now, what we want to do is create a full training week recognizing this. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something that I call a 1, 1, and 2 split, which is going to be 1 upper body day, 1 lower body day, and 2 full body days. So let's dive into it. We're going to go lower intensive, upper intensive, event day, and gap day. Now in a traditional conjugate program, it's lower and upper max effort, lower and upper dynamic effort. What I do in my take on it is my intensive days are more high intensity hypertrophy building days to support the work done on developmental days. Now in this specific format, what we've done is we've dropped developmental days instead of lower upper, for example, and we have a full body event day and full body gap day for Strongman. And I'll explain a little bit more on that as we dive in, but let's go over each day. So for the lower intensive day, what we're going to do here is we're going to start with a snatch grip deficit deadlift and then progress to a snatch grip deadlift, going from an 8 to 5 rep max on each variation, so it's a mechanical progression. Now the reason we opted for the snatch grip deadlift in this program here is if we look at the events, the Hercules hold, the snatch grip is going to be very challenging to the grip and really work the upper back, so it'll have a lot of transference there, so no straps on your snatch grip work. Additionally, that upper back work will help carry over to the stone to shoulder series, so that's why we slotted in snatch grip variations. Then we're going to move into a supported row variation using some sort of descending rep protocol. First week you might be sets of 12, sets of 10s, sets of 8s, so on and so forth. And then we're going to do a reverse sled drag. Now the reason for the reverse sled drag is the same reason we use supported rows. It's to give the low back a break after the deadlift work, and the sled drag in turn will help improve leg strength for the squat for reps, as well as helping improve leg drive on the axle max overhead. Then after that, we'll go into hip and back stability work, so this could be stuff such as reverse hypers, general core work, anything like that. Next up here is our upper intensive day. We're going to start with an axle push press, and what we're going to do here is a step loading approach. So we might go 5x5, 6x4, 8x3, and then 6x2, for example, across a 4-week wave. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to go from an axle seated 60-degree press to an axle standing strict press, again using an 8 to 5 rep max protocol like we did from the snatch grip series here. And what we're doing here is we're getting more specific as we get closer from competition, from seated to standing. And then additionally, that's just going to have a lot of carryover to your overhead press, right? Now, the reason why we're doing this second is because the push press does have a high skill element, so you want the leg drive to be firing to its maximum. That way you're warmed up and ready, and you're not going to leave any poundage on the table because this is subservient to the axle overhead event. Then from there, we're just going to do some tricep work, whatever you like, and various shoulder stability work such as Powell raises, face pulls, trap 3 raises, whatever you like. Now, event training day. We're going to start with the axle ground to overhead here. What I'd like to do on something like this is a strength skill progression where in week 1 we would do reactive reps. So that's where you do the rep, come down, and use that rebound to start right into the next rep, because that'll help create a better bar path. Then you would do pause work, so you'd pause in the dip, pause on the overhead, holding it on the catch phase if you're push jerking, which our hypothetical athlete for this hypothetical show will be. And then the third week, you would do every minute on the minute work to help just create that flow state, get you moving smoothly. Then on our squat work, what we do here is we do a descending rep protocol starting with 2 sets of 15 and then tapering down, with the idea being leading into 2 weeks out from the show, you do a set of 5 at competition weight, rest is needed, and then a set of max reps within a minute at competition weight. Just a pretty standard linear progression. Now for the stone to shoulder, we're going to get a little spicy here, and we're going to use what's called a French contrast system. So how that works is you do 2 stone to shoulder each side, then 5 kettlebell snatches each side. Then from there, you're going to use a sandbag and do a 1 motion over the shoulder each side, and then move into 3 band-assisted jumps. Now, the reason why we're using a French contrast system here to start off is that's going to help the athlete get more explosive. In something like a stone-to-shoulder ladder, we need to cue that violent triple extension to help them get the bag to their shoulder. And then as they neared the competition, we'd move into more of a strength skill progression using a lot of stuff like every minute on the minute sets. Then last but not least would be the gap day. So this is just a full body day where we're going to be doing stuff like one arm landmine press to help support the press and also get them cueing a little shoulder internal rotation, use the scapula, and also help them feel less beat up. Dumbbell chest flies, because again, just like we're using with the snatch grip deadlift, this is going to help them get that crushing bear hug strength, help them pick the stones for the stone to shoulder series. Front foot elevated Bulgarian split squats to strengthen the legs and glutes. That'll have carry over for the squat event. And then any sort of bodybuilding work that the athlete might like. So again, this is just a great example of how you might lay out a full week of conjugate style training for the strongman athlete in competition prep. Now in the off season, we would drop these 2 days here of event and gap training, and we would move to lower developmental and upper body developmental. You're going to see some athletes, what they like to do is they train similar events with similar lifts. I personally like having just a day dedicated to the events when in preparation season. I found it just to be more beneficial for people in general. Anyways, here is a sample week, and I'll create an infographic to go with this. This whiteboard was mainly for me, so I don't lose my train of thought talking to you all. And thanks for letting me talk to you.